I'm so glad to be with family. Hello, LA Voice in Pico, California. As everybody know, my name is Assemblymember Tina Mckinnor, and I represent the 61st Assembly District. I started my community roots at LA Voice, so I'm proud to say where I come from. I'm a black woman. I'm a progressive woman. I'm a smart justice warrior. And I'm proud to stand here today with a clear message. We must continue to work to end mass incarceration in California, full stop. We must continue to work to end mass incarceration in California. Contrary to the MAGA talking points, sorry Zach, I might get a little deep. Contrary to the MAGA talking points, California is actually safer today because the voters approved Prop 47. Recidivism is down, unemployment is down, and hope is returning to families that lost it's just a generation ago. Now it is not the time to reverse the hard work of millions of Californians like you who have seen firsthand that the tough on crime policies of the 1990s just does not work. It broke up families, it left families without a mother or a father, it forced families into a cycle of poverty. Now is the time to continue our work to make smart changes to the criminal justice system. Smart changes like AB 2833. AB 2833 will ensure that any information shared in the preparation for, in the course of, or pursuit of a restorative justice process is confidential and inadmissible in any future court proceeding. Very important. Restorative justice is an essential pillar of making our criminal justice system more fair, just, and equitable. Restorative justice recognizes the trauma of victims and their perpetrators of crimes and provides a constructive space for victims and perpetrators to find healing. Healing that will help victims to find peace. Healing that will help perpetrators find forgiveness. Healing that will break the chain of recidivism. My AB 2833 will be heard on the assembly floor shortly, and I hope you will join me in a few minutes to support this important legislation. Will you join me?
Yes!
Will you stand with me and support AB 33?
Yes!
Now, unfortunately, some members of the legislation have introduced some bills, sorry Zach, this year that will move California backwards in our work for a smarter justice system. What do we say to legislation that won't make us safer but will promote mass incarceration in our state? We say no.
No way.
Once again, what do we say to legislation that won't make us safer but will promote mass incarceration in our state? We say no. Let me give you an example of a bad bill that is currently being considered in this assembly. And let me start by stating the obvious. Theft is bad. Retail theft is bad. Organized retail theft is bad. And retail theft is already against the law. And yet some of my colleagues have introduced AB 1990, which will not reduce retail theft in California, but will increase mass incarceration and speculative arrest of black and brown people. Like I said, retail theft is already a crime in this state. If a law enforcement individual witnessed retail theft, they can arrest that person today. If a security guard or an employee at a store sees someone engaging in retail theft, they can call law enforcement and that suspect can be arrested today. We don't need AB 1990, but we do need to empower our security guard partners to be able to do their job. If law enforcement does not witness a retail theft but has evidence to support an arrest, either by a witness or video evidence, that suspect can be arrested today. If someone steals more than $950 from a retail establishment, law enforcement can be arrested and can charge that suspect with a felony today. AB 1990 is dangerous because it denies basic constitutional protection for any person suspected of theft. Current law allows law enforcement to make a warrantless arrest for misdemeanors relating to domestic violence, violation of a restraining order, or carrying a concealed firearm at an airport that did not occur in the officer's presence. So that's already law. But look at those crimes, you guys. Should petty theft be added to this list? No. And unfortunately, based on public available data on detention and arrest, AB 1990 would disproportionately harm Black and brown Californians. Addressing retail theft is going to take all of us to work together. We need our retail partners, we need our security guard partners, we need our law enforcement partners, and we need our state and local partners working together. Just in the past year, the state invested in over $260 million on top of our budget investment to combat retail theft. The $267 million went to cities and counties to hire more law enforcement, to increase patrols, and to respond to service calls. Unfortunately, in spite of these investments, we heard directly from the California Retail Association this past December at a hearing on retail theft that our law enforcement partners were refusing to show up when a retail theft was taking place. And instead of retailers being threatened by our law enforcement partners, their businesses would be charged with creating a nuisance if the business continued to call law enforcement partners for help. So, if our stores called the police, the law enforcement officers had threatened them with a nuisance ordinance. This is unacceptable. We all want our neighborhoods and communities to be safe. We all pay taxes, and we all can call 911 when we all need and deserve to have our law enforcement partners to show up to protect us. We do not need AB 1990 that will only increase warrantless detention of Black and brown Californians. When a call for service is made, we need our law enforcement partners to show up and enforce current law, period. Now, I don't claim to know everything, but I do know a few things. I know that you showed up big time today, and that these amazing organizations that are here to show up every day to help make our criminal justice system more fair, more just, and more equitable. I know that we need to support AB 2833. I know we need to oppose AB 1990, and I know that the journey is a marathon, not a sprint. So be sure to wear your comfortable shoes. You got them on?
Yes.
Drink lots of water. You got your water?
Yes.
Fill your heart up with joy and love, and demand for the justice that all people in California deserve. And thank you, my family and friends.
Let's give it up for Assemblymember Mckinnor. One more applause.